I'm so happy you're here. I have such a great episode lined up. So let's get to it. Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California, where we are experiencing a heat wave. It is so hot, you guys. We're talking upper 80s, lower 90s. It's hot. It's hot. I haven't left my house. I stepped out and I said, no, thank you. And I stepped right back in. It was so hot out there. But anyway, I am so happy to be here with you guys today. I have a very special episode and I am so looking forward to sharing all the things with you. So I'm going to start by, as I usually do, giving you a little health update. I'm doing okay. I think because of what is going on, and I've talked to many people, we are all having some sleeping issues. I already have sleeping issues. And everything that we are living through right now, these chaotic times, are not helping me sleep. So I have very odd sleep cycles right now. And sleeping always affects my health. It always affects my arthritis. But it hasn't been too bad. I have to say, I've been able to crochet. I've been able to be at a pain level that allows me to be functional. I mean, I'm not pain free, but the pain is very manageable, and I am just very grateful that I can crochet. It's definitely my comfort. The thing that brings me the most comfort right now, especially when I start thinking about everything and getting a little bit overwhelmed, I just know that if I can spend a few minutes just putting stitches on a project, that is going to help me, calm down. And I know that that's doing our knitting and our crocheting and our crafting is really doing wonders for our mental health. So I want to start off with announcing some winners. I had said on episode, I think it was 37, that I was going to give away a pattern by the lovely Jean of Cerulean Orchid, and I have picked a winner. Let me show you the pattern. It is for the Kindred beanie. I showed it on the video, episode 37. It's this amazing beanie. I'm going to take it out of the bag, so crinkling going on, but it's okay, because I really wanted to show you the close-up of the texture. So you can see here, it's got lovely textured stitches, and I love this picture. I showed you guys the picture of the Kindred fingerless mittens that I did, and I really enjoyed working that pattern, so I'm sure this pattern is going to be very enjoyable for the winner. And the winner is Gracie Kanalas. She responded that she's working on baby items for her granddaughter and that she loves gardening and that she's been doing a lot of that. So Gracie, contact me via my email. That is something that you will find below in the description box. I put all of my contact information, but it is crochetluna.claudia@gmail.com, and I will get this pattern out to you as soon as I hear from you. Okay, thank you. And I saw so many wonderful comments about what we're doing now that we're sheltering in. A lot of it is about crafting, getting our projects done, working on blankets. I think blankets is our great project to get done right now, because we are, I don't know about you guys, but I am more active on these Zoom meetings and these FaceTime gatherings, and it's always nice to have a project that I don't have to think about too much, and so blankets to me are a great project. Now, the next set of winners that I want to announce are from the Wizarding Mal. I am so dehydrated, you guys. I really need to drink my weight in water. I really do. I can just feel dehydrated. And now, side note, with all the air conditionings running and all this circulated air, it dries me up even more. So drink your water. Remember, drink your water. It's really important. Okay. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. You guys, I am having such issues with short-term memory. I think because I have so much that I'm thinking about. You know, I've got a kid on a Zoom class in one room and a kid in another room, and the dogs, and this and that, that I literally, like, I'll get up to go to the kitchen or the living room, and I get there, I'm like, why am I here again? And I'll walk back and I'm like, oh, that's right. It's really gotten bad. So I was talking about the Wizarding Mal, and that is a sock and bag mal that I am co-hosting with the lovely Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Hi, Hannah. I am ready to announce my my first quarter winners. I have from my chatter thread, the winner is post 104, and she is Maggles 42389. I will put it down here. Please contact me. You are the winner of the first quarter. And what are you going to get? I got something really special for you that I'm really, really excited to share. I have this gorgeous unicorn bag. Look at that. Isn't that magical? It's got little rabbits and unicorns. Yes, unicorns. Oh my God. Yes, magical unicorns right here. And it's a good size bag, as you can see. See, the inside fabric is just a plain white, which I can, as a bag maker, because I make bags too, I can tell you that my preference for the inner lining of bags is always a light color, because I do not like bags that have dark color on the inside, because it makes it hard to see what you have. And this bag is by the lovely Katydid. First place bags. I saw Katie's work was at BKL earlier this year. I purchased her beautiful Frida Kahlo bag, which is like a garment size bag. There's the Frida, because this is the side that has Frida on it. I've shown this bag before, but this bag will soon be housing a really special project that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. But when it gets to the size, it gets to the point, you know how it is. You start a project, it starts in a small bag, and then as it gets bigger, you move to your bigger size bags. Well, this is going to be the bag it's probably going to end up living in for a while. So, Maggles 42389. Please contact me so I can get your prize out to you. You will also get, there's more goodies. You will also get a set of little sock stitch markers. These were handmade by one of my good friends who's a dyer. She is Jessie from Me to Yarn. She handmade these markers. And you will also get a skein of this really pretty yarn. And it is by Frolicking Feet. It's made in Maine, and it is 100 superwash merino, but this is high twist. So look at that lovely twist on that yarn. I'm sure you can make socks out of that. So this is the prize that you will be getting in the mail. Next, I want to announce the winner of the Instagram drawing for the Wizarding Mal for the first quarter, and that is Caffeinated Craft Mama. I will put it down here. you will get a pattern of up to $10 from Ravelry. You just have to let me know what pattern you would like, and I will go ahead and send that over to you. So please contact me. You can contact me via Instagram, direct messaging, or Ravelry, or in my email. I answer to all three. So yeah, so winners right off the bat. See, I'm not making you wait until the end for winners. Next, I want to talk to you about some finished objects. I do have finished objects, and I am really excited because the first one is, and it's a whip that I've had in a bag, and I've plugged away on this whip for 3 years. No joke. It's been 3 years, and I showed it to you last time, and I said this should be finished by the next time I record, and it is my skull jumper. This is a pattern by Pony McTate. She is done. Look at my sugar skull. Well, I guess it's just a skull. You know what would be cool is if I put some flower applique around the eyes. That would make it a sugar skull, wouldn't it? And I did do the short sleeve version. I just felt like that was going to be something that would be more practical for me. And I haven't done a proper photo shoot, but I will be doing that this weekend. But there it is. All the ends have been woven in. You should be so proud of me. And yeah, so this is done. This is my first FO. Then I have another FO, but it came about from an idea that I had, and I shared on a Zoom meeting with some of my fellow podcasters. I was telling them that I had been kicking around this idea of crocheting shawl cuffs. You know, those really pretty leather cuffs that people use to keep their shawls in place. And I sat down one afternoon and I said, you know how hard it's just a little strip of fabric. I'm sure it's not that difficult. I mean, I didn't really see any patterns. I saw patterns for some really pretty bracelets, and I want to do an episode where I share some of those patterns because I thought they were really pretty. But I basically just took some scrap yarn. This particular one, I used a moss stitch for the main part of the cuff, and then I just put some little shell border. And then what I did is I did look for a cool button, and I had this button, and I surface crocheted this one little strip of color. That's all that is. Most shawl cuffs are that because I went on Etsy and I was trying to find the measurements. I found that they were between 6 and 8 inches. But I have some shawls that when you wrap them around yourself would definitely need something bigger. So I think the best thing, what I've thought about, is that the best thing to do is to find a shawl that you would like to crochet a cuff for, wrap it around yourself, and see how much you actually need. So this is what it looks like with the button closed up. Actually, when I wore it on my shawl, I wore it this way. So you would put it on a shawl, and then it just holds your shawl in place. Is all it is. And we all have so many, little bits of yarn. I mean, this is actually the last little bit of mohair that I had for my Maya shawl. It was a Chelsea Luxe mohair that I bought, and I had a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of it. And what I did is I just incorporated that mohair with this little bit of yarn that I had, just to give it a little bit of color. And that's all I did. And I have so many cool buttons, and I always think, oh, what can I do with, I have like one, right? I'll have this one cool button. What can I do? And I thought this would be a great idea. Now, please don't ask me for a pattern. There is no pattern. we can all crochet a little rectangle of fabric. It's all it is. And actually get creative. I mean, I did this one in no time whatsoever. And then I have a bigger shawl that this cuff would not hold in place. So I just crocheted a bigger cuff with some, again, scraps of yarn that I had, and I came up with this one. And this actually is a stitch pattern from a Stitch Dictionary, which was a very poor choice for this yarn because the stitch pattern has little puffs in between, but you can barely tell that there's anything in there because of the color of the yarn. But again, I found one of my cool buttons that I had, and I created this shawl cuff for one of my big shawls. So I think that we can all get really creative with this. Pick some colors, pick a cool button. I will tell you that one of the things I thought was really useful is that when I went around with single, I think it was just a single crochet border. But when I got to the point where I would be using it as a closure, basically the buttonhole, I did just do a little bit of a chain that I attached to the next part of the cuff. So I made sure that the button would fit through that little bit of chain, and it was really simple to adjust it. At first I had it way too long and I just took stitches off of it, and it just makes for a really nice fit with that button. I was thinking about that when I was during the Zoom meeting. I was telling people I had been thinking about this idea, and as I was doing it, I was looking at all the scraps of yarn that I had. I'm like, oh my gosh, you could do so many cool things with it. So this is my second FOs, is just these little very simple shawl cuffs. That's it. Next, I want to share with you some of the stuff that I'm working on. And I'm working on a pair of socks. I showed it to you a couple episodes ago. And, oh, you know what? I have another finished object. So let me show you. Let me show you what it is. And let me show you the bag it's living in, because it's one of my favorite bags. This bag is made by Ashley of Ash Love Makes. Big congratulations to Ashley. She just had her baby. She was my bag maker for a while, and she's not making bags anymore, but I do have this awesome Ren and Stimpy bag. I don't know if you guys remember who Ren and Stimpy are, but I used to love that show. So in this bag is living FO number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you've heard me complain about my hat issue, that I have all these crocheted hats, but they're way too big now, I decided that I wanted to crochet myself another hat. So I went on Ravelry and I found this really cool pattern. The pattern is called the Dudley Hat, and it's by Thimble-Lane, I guess is the name of the company. And this is the hat, and then this is my hat. Now, I purposely made this hat a little bit smaller than what the directions called, because I know this hat will stretch like my other one. So like right now it fits me very well. A little bit on the tight side, but I know it's going to stretch. It's got this really cool back loop in half double crochet in that third loop in the back loop. And it's got a ribbing that I've never really wanted to crochet because it seems very tedious, which is a slip stitch ribbing. But can I tell you, I love it. See how tight that ribbing is? Look at that. I usually do like a half double crochet or a single crochet, but this ribbing here, let's see if my camera will focus on it, is so cool. And because this is done in worsted weight yarn, it's not as fiddly than if you were doing it with fingering. So this is my my hat. I have not taken any pictures of this hat or me wearing this, or maybe I have, I'm not sure. No, I don't think I have any FO pictures, but I will be taking pictures this weekend. The yarn is from this dyer is one of the first dyers I ever bought yarn, hand-dyed yarn from. She is still dyeing. I love her colorways. Her company is called In the Deep QC, and this color is called Mystery Machine. So, there you go. In the Deep QC. She's got that beautiful logo. And this is a colorway. I don't know that she would have this available in her shop. I bought this like maybe 3 years ago, but I've got this much left. Thinking I definitely could get something out of it. I don't know. Yeah, so that's another FO. Now I'm going to move on to whips because I'm really excited about how these socks are starting to look. I shared it on, I think it was the last podcast or the one before. Guys, I'm so thirsty. You hear my yapping dog in the background? It's because I'm recording this podcast later in the day. And basically, no one leaves the house. So it's like the noise level is like 10 plus. I have corralled dogs, kids, and husband to the living room. I have told them they cannot come back here. So they are watching the Indiana Jones trilogy. So they're doing the first movie today. My husband and my son have been watching the not Star Wars. They already did that. Oh my God, again, I can't remember anything. They've been watching Marvel Universe, all the trilogies. I mean, all the movies in that series, and they found some list so that they could follow what to see when, and they're watching them in order. And I think they finished. Because they were playing Endgame, I think, a couple days ago. Anyway, I am working on my... Oh no, where's my pattern? Here it is. Okay. I am working on my Magdalen Socks by Vicki Brown. This is actually a free pattern. See that? My Magdalen Socks. And I purchased this yarn when I went to Yarndale. And I met Miss Vicki Brown, and she's just a lovely, lovely lady. And we've got a great picture together. The colorways are this speckled purple. Oh my gosh, the yarn band is actually in here. Let's read what it is. Oh, well, what do you know? It's the Magdalen Sock Kit by Vicki Brown Designs. So, this beautiful purple with the accompanying mini. And so here's my progress. I've done the cuff. I will tell you that the number of rows that I did for my cuff and my fat leg were way less than what the pattern calls for. I did adjust the cuff. Now the stitching around is per the pattern for the body of the sock. But the cuff, I did it a little bit smaller because I don't like when the cuffs stretch out too much. And the other thing that I did was I did the cuffs one right after the other. Because I have so much issue with my gauge changing that I'm just trying to work on these socks. Like I've got some rounds here. I'm going to stop and put the same amount of rounds so that they're basically, I'm building them as I go together at the same time, right? Because I want them to fit I want them to fit well. And you can see, I tried this. Okay. You see the difference between this cuff and this cuff? Already you can see a big difference, right? This is when I tried it on in the car, because I was crocheting this in the car. And then this is before it stretches out. You can see this cuff started out the same size as this cuff. You can see there is a big difference when things start getting stretched out, and that's why I went smaller on the cuff, because I can already tell you there is a big difference between the two, and they started the same size. So that's my work in progress, my Magdalene socks by Vicki Brown, and those are living in my beautiful Hohi bag. Those are my socks. Next, I want to move on to what I want to share with you that I'm so excited about. And so I gotta tell you the story. I gotta tell you the story about how this went down, because it's like, I mean, I couldn't have planned it. Last Saturday, Mama woke up a little bit early, and I got my cup of coffee. It was all jammed up. Don King hair, straight up. Because my hair, you see, like, my hair is growing, but right now it's tamed because it's got a lot of product in it. If I leave it to its own devices, it just grows like that. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's like whoosh, like that. So I had my Don King hairstyle and my jammas and my cup of coffee. And I'm flipping through my phone and I see that Kristy Glass is on. So I thought I would jump on and see what Kristy was, up to. She's been sharing some YouTube lives about what's going on and stuff that she's doing. So I jumped on, and she was talking about crocheting this sweater. And she showed the sweater, and I'm like, I want to crochet that sweater. And so I was thinking, Claudia, you have other things to crochet that you want to crochet, but I'm like, this is looking like a really good pattern. And then Kristy starts talking about doing a crochet along. Maybe I'll do a crochet along. So I'm like, well, if Kristy does a crochet along, I definitely want in on that. So as she's doing her live, I moseyed on over to the computer and, jumped on it's a pattern by Pom Pom Quaterly. And it is from their issue 31. It's the fall. The one that looks like that. The fall. What am I talking about? It's Terrain Winter 2019. Because look at that. It says right there. You guys, if you've seen my videos often enough, you know that half the time I gotta show the proof of what I'm talking about because I get it wrong. Anyway, it's Pom Pom Quaterly. Excuse me. It is issue 31, and I jumped over and I purchased it, and I got a digital copy of the magazine. First of all, you guys know I'm a newbie knitter, right? Newbie knitter. Wow, those knitted patterns are so beautiful. I mean, look at this sweater in the cover. That's gorgeous. Anyway, I said to Kristy in the chat, I said, hey, I just bought the pattern. I'm definitely in if you do a crochet along. She's like, oh, great. Let's do one together. Let's do it. And I said, yes, and yes. I'm excited. I said, absolutely. I'm in. I'll totally do it. And then she said, let's jump on live Instagram and announce it. And I'm like, whoa. I gotta get out of these jammas because I look like a hot mess because I just rolled out of bed. So I ran to my room and I threw a hat on and I put on some, actually I just changed my top because, as I call it, when you wear your jammas on the bottom and a nice top, I call it party on the bottom, business on top. So I had my decent shirt on. I don't even know what I wore, but it was definitely not my JAMA tops. And we got on Instagram and we announced that we were doing a crochet along. And so we're doing a crochet along, yes. And what are we going to be working on? And it is this beautiful sweater by Judith Brand called Acre. And it is a 3-color sweater. I will show you the pictures. It's a 3-color sweater. And here's another one. Here's the part of it, the model. And then here is the back of it. So I am really excited, you guys. I'm really excited. The crochet along will start on May 1st, which is next week. And so I realized that Pom Pom magazine is predominantly a knitting magazine. It has more patterns, knitting patterns, than crochet patterns. I have known that for a long time. I still think it's a beautiful publication. And I reached out to them to tell them what we were going to do this crochet along, and were they interested in maybe offering a discount code for us so that we can go buy the publication and get the pattern. And they said yes. They were very, very gracious and said yes. So as you're watching this episode and you're here, you know, hearing me talk about crochet and being always supportive of this channel, I'm just releasing the code here to the viewers of the Vlogcast, and the code will give you 15% off of the Pom Pom magazine issue 31 winter 2019. The code is going to be good April 24th through May 8th, and I will put the code down here so that you can see what that is. It's Acre Cal with a capital A, capital C, and that is going to be a code that is good both on the Ravelry site and on the Pom Pom website. So you will be able to go in there and purchase a digital copy of that. You don't have to wait for it to come to your house. It will be an automatic download. They do a fantastic job with their downloads where you can actually print the pages, as I've printed the ones here and as I've printed the ones for the pattern. I'm ready. Like I've got my yarn. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the things that happened in getting ready for the cowl. First of all, the pattern calls for a 3mm hook. If you are a longtime follower of my videos, you know that I dedicated some of my first, I think it's in year 1 that I started recording these videos, a whole episode to the 3mm hook. And why did I do that? I did that because I'm so thirsty. Oh my gosh. I did that because I was finding a lot of beautiful patterns on Ravelry coming from Europe that were asking for a 3mm hook in order to make the pattern. So I remember the first time I went to the big box stores looking for a 3mm hook, there was none to be found. Couldn't find it. It's either a 2.75 or a 3.25. I'm like, that can't be right. I mean, what's going on? I actually contacted the Craft Council of America. This is how upset I was that I could not find this hook size. I contacted the Craft Council of America and I said, what is the deal with this 3mm hook size? It's not even part of our standard charts, where you get, where you can translate. In America, a lot of people use the letters, and in Europe, they use the numbers. Well, to me, it makes way more sense to tell me to use a 3mm hook than to tell me that I'm going to use a E or a D hook. That, to me, it doesn't register in my brain. So I wrote them an email, which actually got back to me. There was a lady who got back to me and said that those standards that were written in this guide that you can actually download, I will put the link because it's a very useful guide. There is a guide that is put out by the Craft Yarn Council, which tells you needle sizes, hook sizes, what standard garment sizes are, and what this is. It's supposed to be for the fiber industry so that they can standardize things, right? This is where we get that our numbering system, like a number 4 is a worsted weight yarn, and a number 5 is a bulky, that kind of thing. All those things have been standardized in this guide. You can see it. You can flip through it. It's a thick guide. It's a really useful tool, but it hasn't been updated for a long time. So before we had access to Ravelry and videos and YouTube and all that, maybe we were not accessing patterns from Europe, and maybe the designers weren't really using that 3mm hook it wasn't as popular. Oh, I don't know. I'm pulling ideas out of the air, because for a hook size to be something that is used, all over the place in Europe, and you can't find it here unless you go to Amazon or you go to other websites to find it. I think there's a real discrepancy in that information that's given out, right? So I can tell you that I have a nice collection of 3mm hooks that I have found from your standard just metal hook. This is a Chigu hook, actually, that I bought from Faye of Provenance Craft Co. in the UK. I bought this hook from her. She carries them. To I believe this is a Knitter's Pride hook. This is a 3mm hook, which I don't see that flat. See this flatness of that? I don't like that. Now, my two favorite hooks to use when I'm crocheting a project that calls for a 3mm hook is this hook, which I don't remember the maker, to be honest with you, and it doesn't really say on here. It just tells you that it is a 3mm hook. This hook, and one that I really, really love, is this handcrafted polymer clay hook. And it is got this dragon. I've shown this hook before, so if you've seen my videos, you've seen this hook before. Don't off the top of my head remember who I purchased it from, but it is one of the hook makers on Etsy that is still active and still delivers hooks when she says she's going to deliver a hook. She's actually a very good company. I just don't remember her name. But yeah, this hook came from the UK, and the thing about this hook that is really great is that the metal part of the hook is what she used. An option that she gives you is you can get a Boyd, a Susan Bates, or an Amour, and so this is an Amour body in a polymer clay casing, which has got this beautiful dragonfly embellishment. And what I really like about what she does is that she stamps her hooks with the hook size. So that's just an aside. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, you can't go to Joann's and Michael's and whatever, Walmart, wherever you get your hooks, you're not going to find a 3mm hook. You're going to have to order it. The good thing about it is this is not hard to find. You just have to jump online and buy it. Aside from that too, the pattern also tells you that. She actually has included that information in the pattern, saying, if you can't find a 3mm hook, you might want to try crocheting with a 2.75 or a 3.25. Because, as you all know, when you're going to spend the time, money, and energy in crocheting a garment, you really should swatch. I'm not done with my swatch, actually. I tried a 2.75 down here and a 3.0 up here, and the 3.0 definitely gives me gauge. It's giving me stitch gauge. I don't know about roll gauge. but I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up doing my Acre sweater with a 3mm hook, and so I'm glad I have them. So yeah, here's my swatch that I'm working on. The colorways. Oh, let me show you the bag that it's living in, because I don't think I've ever shown this bag. This is from Nerdbird Bakery. It's her Maker Series bag. I love this bag. And it's got this crocheted heart that Flora Honey Pot actually gifted to me when I went to Yarndale. And I put it on this bag because I thought it looked really pretty. Excuse the foul language pin. I don't mind foul language, so sorry if you do. Sorry if you do, if you get offended. But here, look at this one. This one doesn't offend. It says Crocheter. This is from Vicki Brown as well. And from Stitcher Tees, which is the company that makes the Knitter, Crocheter, and Yarnivore t-shirts. This one, another one from Nerdbird Bakery that says Slay All Day. Yeah. Heck yeah. And then this little sweet cookie is a fortune cookie that I crocheted up for the fortune cookie cow that I hosted a couple years ago. This is my little fortune cookie. So, okay, my yarn, I'm going to use Lady Di yarns because she's so fabulous. And I saw these colors and I thought they worked really well together. So these are going to be the colors for my Acre shawl. I'm not crocheting a shawl, I'm crocheting a sweater. But this is what I'll be using. And I love these. These work so well together. You can see, and you can see in the swatch as well. You can see in the swatch, which I have promptly lost. Here it is. You can see in the swatch that this blue is picked up. It's the same color as this right here. And then this pretty, I think this is the Georgia Pecan, but a little bit lighter. Looks really well, will look really well together. So yeah, I am so excited. I hope that you guys will join. And to incentivize you, I will gift one person that watches this video a copy of the Pom Pom Quaterly Winter 2019. So you will get the whole shebang, get the pattern, and you'll get the whole digital download. I just noticed that is not a bruise. That is actually dye. Don't look at that. I will actually give somebody of the Vlogcast, one of the Vlogcast viewers, a copy of the magazine, because I was going to call it a book, but it's really it's a beautiful publication. The beautiful publication that is Pom Pom Quaterly will be gifted to one viewer of this Vlogcast. You guys, it is so hot right now. It is so hot. Look, my makeup is just like whoosh, melting right off my face. Ah, all right. So we also have, drum roll please, the Dodgy Bag Mal 2020, co-hosted with the lovely Allie of Little Drops of Wonderful. It is one of my favorite Mals. Well, I really only co-host 2 Mals, now 3, but I really only co-host the Dodgy Bag Mal and the Summer of Romance Mal with Clarissa Beth of the Crochet Cakes podcast, which I'm sure we will be doing this summer. Because it usually goes back to back, Dodgy Bag Mal and then Summer of Love. Summer of Romance, sorry. Yeah, so that's going to start May 1st as well, and it's going to end June 1st. I will open up a chatter thread because Allie usually hosts the FO thread. And yeah, so you're going to have, listen, if you sew up a dodgy bag for the Dodgy Bag Mal, you can enter that same project for the Wizarding Mal that has that bag component. You know, you can definitely do that. So please, 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 I urge you to join one of these mals. They're a lot of fun. I have found that I am working a lot better when my my creativity is focused. I started a lot of projects. There was a week or two where I was like buying patterns and looking at my yarn stash and seeing what I could start and then caking up yarn and then just feeling very like all over the place. I feel like I need to focus on one project, and that knowing that I'm going to just work this project from beginning to end, it's going to be very helpful to me. So yeah, so lots of good stuff. You know, we got this amazing make along, which is this Acre sweater. I am so excited. It is size inclusive. Did I tell you guys that? It is size inclusive. I believe it goes up to 62 or 64 inches. Let me look at the pattern. I'll be right back, and I will tell you exactly what the measurements are in the pattern. So the pattern goes up to 64 inches, and it is suggested ease is 4 to 12 inches of positive ease. So I feel like this is it's a great pattern. You guys know I've got the boobage that I gotta think about, so I'm looking forward to having something that's got that much positive ease. It's gonna be roomy, it's gonna be comfy. I want to have this ready for the fall, and so I am really excited. Now, the other thing is that I've contacted some of my favorite yarn dyers, and I have heard back from some, and as soon as I get details from the ones that have not sent me the details, I will share them on Instagram. So please, if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. But one of my favorite dyers, because she is very crochet inclusive, is Yarn Baby, Shannon from Yarn Baby. And if you go to Shannon's Instagram page, you will see that often she will crochet and knit a sample of the yarn so that you can see how it looks crocheted and knit. I don't know of another dyer who does that. And I appreciate it because a lot of times I've had yarns that I've bought that don't look so great when you crochet them because of how they're dyed. You know, maybe the color changes are too long and they pull, and I'm just not a big fan of color pulling. But with Shannon, you can see what her yarn is going to do with a crochet stitch. So Shannon has actually offered us a discount code of 20% on her yarn, and the discount code I will put down here. It is going to be Acre Crochet. So I urge you to go check out her shop and look at her beautiful yarn. I will be posting pictures on my Instagram stories of the combinations that she has put together that I thought were really cool. And so because we kind of put this together so quickly with Kristy, I understand that it's probably not going to give dyers a lot of time to dye yarn. And so I'm hoping that because they have some inventory from not going to the different yarn shows, that they have inventory in sweater quantities for this project. But yeah, I'm excited that we have a discount code for the publication. We have a discount code for the yarn from one yarn dyer. I'm hoping the other yarn dyers that I have reached out to will also give us some discount codes, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is going to be an awesome project, you guys. I'm really excited about this project, and I'm really excited about co-hosting with Kristy. She's a lovely person. We've been chatting back and forth, and I feel very comfortable co-hosting with her, and she is excited about the project too. So yeah, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. That is my main social media platform. It's the one I'm most active on. So if I make announcements, I usually will go to Instagram and post there first. Next, I have acquisitions, and I have acquisitions. And I have one that I wanted to show you. I've been meaning to show it to you because my friend Amélie, bonjour Amélie, she sent it to me from France. And I was really surprised when she sent me this package. And it is some crochet pattern books from Fildar that all have a chart. So basically, if you don't speak French, you can make these projects because if you can follow a chart, you can make them. But she sent me this one right here. It's got this really great poncho. I was showing this at the Zoom meeting one weekend, and everybody was loving this poncho. The projects are very beginner friendly. If I show you these patterns, look at this really nice, just simple infinity scarf, and there's a little pocket, you know, a little, what would you call it, like a little phone holder, and it's got these little bags, and then these pillows with the cute buttons. So I was telling, oh, look at, I'll show you this cute blanket. There's a cute blanket on there with like little puffs. And there is these placemats, which I actually really want to make these placemats. Round placemats. So this is Fildar, and I know that they're also a yarn company. Then she sent me this beautiful magazine, also Fildar, that has some really beautiful crochet patterns. Again, they are charted. But you know what's really cool about this is that I want to learn some of these terms in French. I'm interested in that, and now I can see what some of these things are called. And it's different when you, even in Spanish, when I was trying to do my Spanish podcast, I had to find sources to find out how you say things like single crochet and double crochet. And even within those sources, depending on what part of the world you are where they speak Spanish, they call it different things. But what's cool about this magazine is that it's charted. Look at that dress. Now, that's not my style of dress, but that is a cute dress. You know, I don't even wear dresses anymore. I'm more of a oh my gosh, but look at the back of this top. Look at the back of that top. That's really pretty. And I take it this is the front of the top. So I was really happy to receive. It's just interesting to see how crochet publications differ from country to country, you know. These definitely have a different feel from the UK publications in that, and I don't want to really show you too much because it would be giving away a lot, but maybe if I show it to you from far away. But yeah, it's style, the layout is way different than a UK publication. It feels more like, here's the pattern, here's the graph, you know, here's the requirements of the yarn, and then their styling is very different too from a UK publication, which is really cool to see. But this is really pretty, and this is really pretty too. I was really happy to have received this from her. Next, I bought a crochet dishcloth book. Remember when I was showing you guys dishcloth patterns, those 2 little free patterns, on that episode where I showed a bunch of patterns? Well, I saw this on the Knit Picks website, and I was like, I need that. I want it. Because I am very much interested in making dishcloths. It's got so many different patterns and textures and things like that. And I bought some cotton from Knit Picks in these different colors. so I can do dishcloths. But let me tell you, and I love knit picks. I order from them all the time. But I placed this order, and like a couple days later, I got an email that said, yeah, we're closed. And we're going to ship this to you sometime. And if you don't want it, then let us know. We'll cancel your order. But if you do want it, then we'll charge your credit card when we ship it. And I thought, well, when am I going to get this? There was really no timeline for it. But I thought, I really want the book. I really want the yarn. When it gets here, it'll be a surprise. Luckily, it was not that big of was not that long of a wait. I would say it was maybe 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks from when I ordered it than when I got it. So it wasn't too bad. But I just thought it was funny because you shop their website. When I was shopping the website, there was really nothing that said there that they were closed. And so I just shopped like a regular shopping, what do you call it? Like just regular shopping, right? I went in, I picked my stuff, I checked out, I, paid with my credit card. And then later it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're closed. So I think as this whole thing, this COVID, sheltering in, all this stuff starts affecting more and more businesses, you're going to see more and more delays because people are ordering more online, and shipping companies are also under a lot of strain. So I, as a PSA, would say that if you order things from people, just be patient. We're all doing the best we can, and I could have gotten really upset about what happened with Knit Picks not telling me right away that I was not going to get my order, and then receiving that email a couple of days later. Or I could see it like, you know what? I really want it anyway. So let it just be a surprise when it gets here. And that's basically what happened. And yeah, but I know a lot of people are very nervous about ordering some stuff online without that firm deadline on when you're going to get it. But it's happening from the big manufacturers like Walmart, Target, and all the way down to, the small businesses. We're all affected by shipping because we're all limited to the same carriers and basically shipping companies. So if UPS, FedEx, and the United States Postal Service are all facing a burden, it's going to affect the whole country. So just be patient. I mean, at least they gave you the offer. They gave you the option to cancel and refund your order. What I did appreciate is that them saying, we will not charge your credit card until we ship this stuff out to you. I thought that was good. That was acceptable to me. I also received a package from Faye from the UK. My friend who has the podcast, the Crochet Circle podcast here on YouTube, and who also has a company called Provenance Craft Co., and who is also an amazing designer. And she sent me a little package that included this adorable little bag with little Scotty dogs. And it's a perfect little sock bag too. It has a pocket in it, which I thought was really cool. It's by Smith Studio Designs. This is the label right here. She also sent me this really cool print. It says, "We are the creators." It's got someone who spins, crocheter, obviously somebody who sews, yarn ball, all the fun stuff that we like to do. But that was cool. I'm going to frame this, and I'm going to put it in my crochet corner. She also sent me little bags. And I'm going to think of a special thing to do, because I got several of these bags. I'm going to think of a special thing to do with these bags. For sure, I'll have to do a giveaway. Maybe closer to Day of the Dead. But yeah, Faye always surprises me and sends me the coolest things. So thank you, Faye. Thank you so much. And then Faye, in return, is going to be getting a big order of Crochet Luna buttons. I did a huge update on my Etsy shop, and I will be further updating the Etsy shop with 4 or 5 new pins that I don't think anybody has seen, but they came in yesterday, and I'm really excited to share them with you guys. I don't have a Ko-fi, and I don't have a Patreon, and I don't plan to do either of those things. I just think that if you want to support the Crochet Luna Vlogcast, the best thing you could do is go to my Etsy shop and buy a pin. It really is. It's I feel like I am an artist, and I feel like I'm always creating things, and it's what drives me. It's who I am, and so I appreciate that people like my work, like my pins, and that they are supportive of my Etsy shop. I'm really, really always happy that people buy them. So like I said, if you would like to support this podcast, I would appreciate if you take a little look at my Etsy shop and maybe purchase a pin or two. You don't have to. I mean, I'm just saying, I have cool pins. And I have some really cool pins that I will be adding this weekend. That is all I have for you today. I'm very excited about the coming weeks. We are going to be busy making a sweater, and I am so looking forward to it. Please check the links down below and the information down below this video. That is where I put my show notes. And yeah, I am so happy that you're here. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe and healthy. Don't feel alone. We are all, there goes my lights. Don't feel alone. We are all struggling and doing our best. My name is Crochet Luna. No, my name is Claudia. I am Crochet Luna on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I am still working on Twitch, guys. I'm still struggling. Hoping to get there back to my Twitch channel soon. But thank you so much for spending time with me. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And next time I will definitely have some Pattern Palooza for you. And yeah. And by the way, because the crochet along starts on May 1st, I will announce the winner of the publication on April 30th. I think that's a Thursday. I will do it on Instagram, and I will reach out to the winner to make sure that they have their Pom Pom Quaterly in their hands so that they're ready to go on May 1st. So how can you win this? Let's see. What would be a good prompt for that prize? How about you tell me something that is not fiber related that's making you happy right now? What is something not fiber related? Because we all know our crochet and our knitting is making us happier and it's bringing comfort. Tell me something outside of that that is making you happy during this time, and I will draw a winner from the people who comment. So take care, be good to yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.